Animal Histories, Friday at 5 on the CBBC channel.
Today on Raw, the Siberian tiger cubs are now a year old and they're driving mum and dad mad because they've completely outgrown their enclosure. So, today the keepers are planning a massive tiger move. Series of Raw. I'm Ronnie.
And I'm Johnny, and we're so excited to be back for more animal fun. And what better way than to kick things off with these guys, the beautiful black and white rough lemurs.
Oh, now these are just one of the hundreds of incredible creatures we're going to be seeing this series. Now, Johnny, I've had it on quite good authority that you made quite a good impression on the keepers.
Oh, Ronnie, you know, I thought so. They don't call me Dr. Dolittle for nothing.
Well, Johnny, I think they should start calling you Dr. Do more. And the dung pile is a calling. Go on, it's not going to clean itself.
Unbelievable.
All right, let's get on with the show and the new series. Come on, Johnny, put your back into it.
Coming up, Ronnie faces off with a herd of hungry giraffe.
I'm sure this is the funniest thing I've ever done on Raw. Johnny and the gang find out why it's not a good idea to ignore an elephant at feeding time.
There you go. That's how to get rid of a blocked nose. And we find out who's the bravest presenter on the park. But we kick off today's show at the big cat section. Last year on Raw, Malchek and Nika, the Siberian tigers, gave birth to 3 beautiful little cubs. Everyone at the park was thrilled with the news because Siberian tigers are on the brink of extinction in their wild habitats in the eastern regions of Russia and Asia. Since their birth, the youngsters have gone from strength to strength and they're growing fast. So fast, in fact, that the family are beginning to outgrow their enclosure. The only way to provide them with more space to play in is to give them access to the enclosure next door. But before they can do that, the keepers will have to move out the current residents, 2 other feisty felines, the Sumatran tigers, Inda and Amir. This sounds like a job for the king of cool, the captain of the cat crew, Jim Vassey.
Well, as you can see, at the moment we're standing outside the Siberian tiger enclosure, which is quite a big size, but not for mum, dad and 3 cubs. Now the cubs are getting bigger, so we've got a problem now with space. So we've got a plan to move some tigers and give these more space. So if we walk this way, look, this is, like I say, this is Siberian enclosure, and next door is the Sumatrans enclosure, which is roughly the same size. So what we intend doing is we're going to open a slide here when we're ready and let the Siberians have the Sumatrans cage as well.
Here's Jim's master plan. At the moment, the 2 Sumatran tigers are in the enclosure on the left, and the family of 5 Siberians are in the enclosure on the right. So the 2 Sumatrans are going to be moved across the park to a brand new enclosure before the gates are opened to create a huge new home for the family of Siberians. But before that can happen, Jim has to knock the new enclosure into shape.
This is an empty enclosure that, you know, that the Indian tigers used to have. But we've got a lot of clearing up to do in here first. So, you know, we've got a lot of work to do, a lot of trees to trim and cut back to make sure it's safe for, you know, for the public and for the tigers. So, you know, this is the next thing.
But after mowing, sweeping, chopping and sawing, the Sumatran's new home is ready to go, and so is Jim.
Well, we need now some tigers, so bring them on.
Sounds easy, but it most certainly is not. Before the keepers can move the Sumatran tigers, they will have to be sedated, and that can be very dangerous for both the tigers and the team. We'll be there for all the action when the tigers make their move.
Now, the word on the park is that these guys, these amazing giraffe, can actually pick the prickliest of plants. And this one's coming in for a little treat. So I've come out on the African Experience with Gareth. Look at this. Oh, dear. They're so gentle as well. We have to mention that. They're so gentle, aren't they? And so amazing out here.
They are very gentle.
Now, the reason we came out here today is because we wanted to see them eat this. But unfortunately, we've got a bucket here filled with banana, which they're far more interested in. So would it be worth giving them some banana first, Gareth?
Yeah, sure, no sweat. Do you want to do this?
Yeah? Oh, I've not fed on my hand. Now, here you go, mister. Is there a way to feed? Is our cameraman all right? Can you see us? This is unbelievable. They've gone crazy today. So the thing is, Gareth, you know, we've come out here today because we wanted to demonstrate that how they can eat this really, really prickly plant. So take a look at this. That is really sharp. Left a little indentation on my fingers. What actually is this, Gareth?
This is hawthorn.
And
so it's a very common species in the UK, but it's very good for the giraffe. It enables them to use a lot of their natural adaptions. In Africa, they feed mainly on acacia browse, which is a very, very similar plant. It's very prickly. It has a very formidable kind of...
Very naughty.
A very formidable branch that makes it very awkward for an animal to browse from.
Right.
And the giraffe have, over the years, adapted to get the best out of this plant and also utilise it to their own benefit.
Yes.
So they have some really good adaptions. They have some really thick lips, elongated faces, and the teeth are all at the back as well, so they can push all this food in as far as they can get it to chew. If you want to hold a piece of banana, you'll also see that overall they have a tongue that's about 45 centimetres long, which enables them to get another 45 centimetres into the plant.
You're joking.
And benefit from that as well.
Oh my goodness. This... I'm sure this is the best thing I've ever done on roll. No, we wanted to see their tongues. If I hold it there. Oh, did you see that? That was unbelievable. She gave it to the same giraffe. The youngest and the most playful. Okay. Oh my goodness, did you? Oh. Gareth, you know, when I was coming up here today to give them some prickly plants, I was just like, oh, they'll come and have a taste. I didn't for 1 second imagine I'd be rolling all over the floor. They'd have their heads in it. It's just been absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for letting us get so close.
You're more than welcome.
We all know an elephant never forgets, but will it be the same for Deputy Head of the Ellie section, Liz Morris? It's time for Ask the Keeper, because this lot are waiting, keen with their questions. Are you ready, guys?
Yes.
Liz, are you ready?
Yeah.
Well, let the kids begin, you're not sure. What have we got here?
This is Sheeby.
Wow.
She's 32.
And is Sheeby a she?
She is a she.
Why are they so wrinkly?
Obviously, they'd be living in Africa and it's very, very hot. So instead of putting suntan lotion on, they need to put mud on their skin to act as a kind of suntan lotion. So the more wrinkles they have, the more water they can hold in their skin and the more mud they can hold on as well. So even though Sheeby looks quite old because she's wrinkly, she's got very good skin for an elephant.
Why do they sneeze?
Why do they sneeze? I suppose the same reason that we sneeze, really. I mean, you look at their trunk, that's their nose. So if you think they can get lots of hay and dust and all sorts stuck up there, so I think they sneeze just to clear it all out, because they use the trunk for so many things, for drinking, breathing, eating. So maybe they need to sneeze to keep it all nice and clean, to do all those things.
What if the nose gets blocked? How do they get it out?
You might see, if you stop feeding her, she might sneeze all over you.
Really?
Just to get your attention.
Oh, what's this?
You might get a bit... There we go.
There you go. That's how do they get rid of a blocked nose. Okay, we've got another question.
When they're little, how long does it take for them to be able to walk?
That's a good question.
That's a very good question. I mean, baby elephants can be on their feet within minutes. Within 20 minutes they can be up. They might not be very sturdy, but in the wild the mum wants them up and running away from any potential predators. There's not many predators that would attack elephants, but obviously when they're babies, lions and things like that might you know, prey upon them.
Are elephants really afraid of mice?
It's actually a bit of a myth. I mean, like us, things can make us jump, can't they? Like a mouse, if it runs across, it can make us jump. But half the time, they probably don't even see the mouse. Their eyesight's not that great, it's their sense of smell. So by the time the mouse has run off, they probably haven't even noticed.
Right, you've answered pretty much all our questions, Liz.
Oh, brilliant.
Except earlier on, we did do a bit of research to try and catch you out. Okay, so I'm going to confer with these guys here and ask you the killer question. Come on, guys. ask it. Go on then, Rachel. Yeah, we've got your killer question and Rachel's going to ask it. Are you ready, Liz?
No.
Well, you're going to have to be. Take it away, Rachel.
How much food does one elephant consume in a year?
Oh! How big's the elephant? Oh.
Oh, don't try and tickle. OK, let's say a fully grown elephant.
Oh, my goodness. Well, in the wild, they roughly 150 kilos a day. But you want to know in a year?
Yes.
So by 100, 365 days, is what, 36,000, 72,000. Average 50 to 60,000 kilos.
He's right. You did well, Liz. That's a lot of food, isn't it, guys?
That's quite a lot.
What do you reckon, guys? Thumbs up or thumbs down for Liz?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up,
Thank
definitely. You did well. Make sure you catch the next Ask the Keeper. It's the day of the big tiger move. The Siberian tiger cubs are growing fast and the family need more room for the cubs to play in. So the keepers have decided to give them the enclosure next door as well as their present home. The problem is that at the moment, the Sumatran tigers Inda and Amir live there. So today, they're being moved to a new enclosure on the other side of the park. Head of Cats Jim Vassey knows that transporting tigers is never a walk in the park, especially as the two Sumatrans will have to be sedated first.
You know, one of the biggest problems is darting an animal. It is dangerous because once they've gone down, you don't know if they are asleep. And also, safety aspect of us having to go in the shed once we've knocked them down and then get them out of there, then get them in a crate to be able to transport them. So there's a lot that could go wrong, but, you know, touch wood, it should go all smoothly.
Park vet Jane Hopper has arrived to knock out the Sumatrans with a tranquiliser dart. To give her an easier shot, Jim's team have already been hard at work and rounded the Sumatrans into the shed where they usually sleep.
Sometimes when they're big enclosure, things are a lot more difficult. They're harder to dart. Jim and his team have done a really good job this morning getting both of them in the shed, so I think it's going to make things a lot easier.
Ready to go? All right, let's do it then.
When shifting tigers, a removal van just won't do, so the team have brought specially reinforced crates.
Let's walk straight past you.
Because sedating tigers is such a dangerous and stressful job, our cameras have been asked to stay well back. But we've still managed to arrange a close-up view of the action because Jane is wearing our special vet cam. After loading the dart into a pressurised gun, Jane sneaks up to sedate the male tiger, Amir, and she isn't given a warm welcome.
Just somewhere. Yeah, you're very good.
The drugs must be injected into a fleshy part of Amir's body.
Go on, turn round a bit. Turn round so we can see your bottom.
If they hit a vital organ, it could be fatal.
Ready?
Yeah. Head in. Perfect. Well done, Ben.
It's a good job Jane's a sharp shooter.
I've just started Amir. It went very well. You could probably hear him making a lot of noise, and he was also sort of mouthing at me a little bit through the bars. And also he was quite calm, actually, despite the noise, so hopefully it will go quite well.
Going in with a sedated tiger is potentially deadly. Jane must be certain that Amir is fully asleep, so she prods him with a secret weapon, a broom. With no sign of movement, the team head in.
So legs over. Any movement, then everyone just leave the shed, okay?
It's not every day that Jane gets this close to one of the tigers, so she grabs the opportunity to give him a health check.
Can I check his microchip? Where's the microchip scanner? He should have one. Lovely. Right, we're just going to take some blood while he's in the shed.
She checks his teeth and takes a blood sample that she'll analyse later.
Right, let's take him to the crate.
On three. Yeah, go. Slow up.
Sumatrans might be the smallest tigers in the world, but Amir still weighs 150 kilos. Moving this big boy ain't easy.
Ben, what you been feeding him? Hey?
Right, we've got some jaw movement, so let's get him in now.
Okay, Ben, go.
Jane spotted movement in Amir's jaw, which means he's beginning to wake up. It's not good for the tiger's health to be resedated, so the team have to move fast.
More. Good.
In the nick of time, Amir is safely in the crate.
Yeah, now he's in the crate, so now it's on the Land Rover and quickly round to his new cage and get him out as soon as possible. Go for it, go for it, yeah.
It's now a race against time to get this dangerous cat to his new home before he wakes up fully.
On three. 1, 2, 3.
And with the crate in position, the keepers make a quick getaway.
He's looking at the cat, Ben.
Hi, Cat. How are you doing? We've done the first tiger, a male, Amir. It went very well. He's doing really well, so on to the next one.
Amir's partner Inda is the next to be moved, and the team will be treating her with extra care because Jim has a feeling that she might be expecting cubs.
Now we've come back to move the female. Obviously, this is going to be a bit longer because we want to check, Jane to check to see whether she's pregnant. I mean, fingers crossed she might be.
Come back later for another big move, and with any luck, some big news.
What type of fish is the brightest? I don't know. A sunfish! What goes zub zub? A bee flying backwards. What things do farmers talk about while milking cows? Utter nonsense. Moo!
When there's a whiff of food around, I am never far behind, and it happens just to be the same for the bush dogs. So what better time to get up close and personal with them than dinner time? And I'm with Keeping Our Rich. Hi, Rich.
Hi.
So we're going in there with the bush dogs, because look, they're all around. Look at the little cuties.
No, with the dogs generally, it's always good to keep your distance a little bit. I mean, they are friendly. I mean, and that's Molly, the one that was hand raised. He is quite a friendly little lad, but a lot of time it's easier just keep your fingers out of harm's way.
All right, OK, so how are we going to do this food then?
Lots of little bits, cut into small bits, so it makes them search a bit more. Throw it around the enclosure, a few bits into the pond, because dogs really quite enjoy going into water and cooling down and playing in the water. Hopefully they'll show that off today, we'll see.
And there you go, and here they come as well.
Come on then, pups, come on.
You can actually see Moley going in, and he's putting his head straight under the water. He's not scared at all, is he?
Not at all, no, he's quite at home doing that.
He looks a bit like an otter when he came out.
Again, that's all part of why they are so good at home, because they've got sleek heads, which is good for going through water. If you don't know if you can see, but the ears like lay flat a little bit, so it almost covers the whole.
Right.
So it stops less water going in. They're quite well adapted for living and playing around water.
He just shook like a proper little dog, didn't
That's exactly how they get. It's exactly the same as like your domestic dog. It's the way they get their fur dry. Shake. One shake, done.
And they're eating that quite quickly as well.
Moldy quite often has his dinner nicked off him by the little ones, so he knows he's got to eat quite quickly.
OK, so there's the pups. How
That's
many
one of the
pups have
pups.
we got here?
There's 4 pups. There's Moldy here. There's another pup just coming up.
Oh, yeah.
And Mum's normally actually out and about, but she's obviously just finding the heat a bit too much.
Oh, Moley's going again. Moley's going again. Oh. You know what? Those little pups, they might not want to go in the water, but they're willing to take that food off Dad, aren't they? Oh, well, it's been great to see them, Rich. They're little cuties, they are, but I think they want a bit of food. We have some left, so what says you? We just chuck some here, and so they don't have to go into the water.
Yeah, no worries.
Come on, then.
Go on then.
There you go, finally getting fed. Have you discovered the Raw online game yet? It's easy to find on the CBBC website, and it's great fun. In honour of our new series, we've also added a brand new enclosure where you'll find some exciting new animals. Every day on Raw, we'll give you a cheat code that will unlock food and treats for your animals. Today, it's Wood 4. Happy gaming!
I'm off to see the gelada baboons. These extraordinary monkeys come from the high mountains of Ethiopia, where there are very few trees. They mainly eat grass and seeds, but apparently the pair at the park have developed a taste for onions.
Spring onions and leeks, Joe. What's going on?
Oh, I just thought that we could give the geladas a bit of a treat.
Oh, what a mad noise they're making. They sound quite human, don't they?
Yeah, they do sound quite human.
So who have we got here then, Joe?
OK, these are gelada baboons. We've got our male, Agolo, and our female, Jima.
OK, Jima, definitely seems hungry.
Yeah, they're just a bit. They want their spring onions.
Should we give it to them straight away then?
Yeah, we can see what they make of them.
Now, how are we going to do this then? I mean, do we give it to them whole or do we need to peel it for them?
Well, they like peeling bits off that they don't want, so if you just give them whole, if I give him one first, he'll just slowly take it. He's a bit distracted at the moment, so...
He's quite interested by me, and he's kind of looking at me. Should I give him...
New.
There you go. They look right into your eyes. That's amazing. And so their hands are sort of, I guess, dexterous enough to be able to peel them. Because look at that. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, if you look at their hands, they're quite small. They're quite stumpy, but they're brilliant for what they do best, and that's grazing.
They don't seem to be able to get enough of them. Do they really like it?
Yeah, they don't get them often. It's quite a big treat for them.
He's got massive teeth. Do they ever use the teeth to peel back the peel?
Teeth aren't really for eating for them, really. It's mainly for display purposes out in the wild if they're in bachelor groups or family groups, and they'd mainly be used for display purposes if they were fighting with another male, maybe.
Now, I've noticed when he looks at me sometimes, he does this kind of weird thing with his eyebrows. What's that all about?
Yeah, baboons have got quite a lot of expressions that they make. Sometimes it could be a threat. They're all mainly for display purposes anyway. That's what we call eye flashing. It's kind of threatening you a little bit. Back off. Although he likes taking the food from you, it's just kind of giving you a bit of a warning. Like, stay away, keep your distance.
Well, I'll just get a little bit further away from him then and give him some more. Let's see what he does with this one then. It's quite a little bit bigger.
Well, he's never had a whole leek before, so...
Really? Oh, wow, OK, let's see what he does with it. Well, I think he's certainly enjoying those leeks, and you know what, I can smell his breath from here, so I reckon the second course is going to have to be some mince.
As part of a very big cat operation, Inda the Sumatran tiger is about to follow her mate Amir and move into their new home. But to add to the day's excitement, the team think that Inda might be pregnant.
Now we're going to go and dart Inda. She's also in the shed. Hopefully it'll be the same as last time, and we're also going to take a blood sample from her to see if she's having cubs, so fingers crossed it all goes well.
Sedating a tiger is always risky, and if an animal is pregnant, the risks are even higher. It's a huge responsibility for Jane, but she is highly skilled and well practiced with the dart gun.
Great.
It's another perfect shot. Now the team must wait for the drugs to take effect. Sumatran tigers come from Sumatra in Indonesia, about 6,000 kilometres south of their Siberian cousins. They are critically endangered in the wild, with only a few hundred left. So, new cubs are like gold dust, and everyone in the park is excited about the prospect of a pregnancy.
What are you doing?
As soon as she's confident that Inda is fully sedated, Jane moves in to check her belly for any sign that she might be carrying cubs. To cover all the angles, she's still wearing vet cam, and we've also given a small camera to keep her Ben. It's an exciting moment as everyone waits to hear what Jane has discovered, but Inda isn't giving much away.
She looks very healthy, in good condition. I couldn't actually feel any cubs. That's not to say she's not pregnant, because cats, and especially the big cats, can be hard to feel. We've got a blood sample in the boot, so in a few days we should know the answer.
So the team will be in suspense for a little longer, but just in case she is pregnant, they move Inda with extra care.
Who's not lifting?
After a big team effort, both Sumatrans are safely in their new bedrooms.
The day went really well. Even surprised ourselves, and the tigers surprised us because they did exactly what we wanted. So we're very happy. Let's go.
Before long, Inda and Amir are groggy but awake and ready to check out their new pad.
They've both come out of the sheds. Still a little bit wobbly, but yeah, I think they'll settle in pretty good and pretty quick.
Now that Inda and Amir are safe in their new home, Keeper Ben can finally let the family of Siberian tigers into their new enclosure. With twice the area to play in and explore, the cubs are loving it.
Well, unfortunately, it's that time again. It's nearly the end of the show, but before we leave you, we thought we'd pop up meet keeper Chris at the Discovery Zone, who wanted to show us these guys. The Madagascan hissing cockroaches.
Hiya, Chris.
Hi. Why are they special then? They're called hissing cockroaches. I can't really hear them hiss, but I'm presuming that must be something to
Put
do
your
with
ear close, put your ear close, go on. I'm not doing it.
OK. All right, I'll let you into a little secret. If they were hissing, you'll be able to hear them from 10 feet away, OK?
Wow.
You don't have to be that close.
Come on, the old one.
Oh, no, I don't need to hold on. I mean, Chris is doing such a good job. Now, the other thing is, with cockroaches, I mean, they've got quite a hard shell. Now, is it true they are just completely indestructible and they're the only things that could survive a nuclear bomb? I have heard that. Is it a lie?
They put up with an awful lot, you know, they can survive being frozen. You're right, they can survive, you know, nuclear bombs, no problem whatsoever.
Wow.
They're just such hardy little critters, they really are.
So I presume that means that they're not endangered or anything like that then?
Interesting. No, they're not endangered, but the areas that they live in is actually one of the most endangered habitats on the planet, actually in Madagascar, in the forest there.
Wow.
So obviously these coming from there, yeah, they face real problems just like everything in Madagascar does.
You know what, I think I'm pretty much convinced by Chris. And, you know, I'm not a great lover of cockroaches, but I do have to say, they do look pretty and shiny, and I like shiny things, so I could be converted to be a fan of them. Thank you very much, Chris.
Cheers, Chris. In fact, can you give us one to hold?
Ooh!
You know what, I think Ronnie should hold one as well.
You know what, we haven't got time for that right now, but why don't you guys check out what's on the next episode of Raw?
Ronnie, look at this.
Good escape.
Oh! Next time on Raw.
Our Rangers get roaring when they take on Jade the Barbary Lion.
Baby elephants get naughty at bedtime, and we'll see how much chaos 6 youngsters can cause.
And after their big move, we'll catch up with the Sumatran tigers and discover whether or not they've got cubs on the way. That's all coming up on the next Raw.
This is the news at when? When? It's right now, and we have reports of historical hysteria coming in from right across the country. There's terror and turmoil in the towns. Bloody battles in every borough. And pests from the past invading our parks.
Heads up, lads!
All of which can mean only one thing. Yes, horrible histories is back. Oh, and there's no place to hide.
The award-winning Horrible Histories, Friday at 5 on the CBBC channel.
Blast to the past in 3, 2, 1.
Fantastical.
Oh, yeah, man.
I'll be back.
Oh, good catchphrase. Brand new Horrible Histories and heaps more historical holiday fun. Every day from 7 on the CBBC channel.